Hmm. We are live, but there seems to be something going on with my camera. So please hang on a second. Huh. Let's see. Hold on, everybody. Oh, goodness me. What happened to the camera? Um, Dear me. Where is the camera? Okay, settings, FaceTime camera, save. Okay. Anyone who can hear me, I'm having a little trouble with my camera, which was just working. So let me see what to do. Um, hmm. I may have to start it over because I don't know how to fix it. I'm going to go to the Q&A really quick. Can anyone see me? Can anyone see me? My camera is broken. It was just working. If you guys can just hang on and I'll get this working. Oh dear. Okay, let's see. Oh dear. If you have just joined the Google Hang, welcome. Just having a technical difficulty, which I will get fixed as soon as possible. And we'll get this moving again. I can see there are some of you here. I do not know where the camera is. So this may end up being a Google Hang that is my voice only. But let me see if I can get it fixed first. It's worked every time I've used it, so I have no idea what's going on. Just hang on for 1 minute. So apparently the only way I can get my camera to work again is to reboot the computer. And so I think I'm gonna take a quick poll. I could send out the link again after I reboot, or I could just share with you the 3 keys to unlocking your creativity and expression as an audio. So maybe we will do that. And suddenly it's a radio show. So if you guys are on the Google Hang and you see the Q&A button, if you click on it, you would be able to ask me a question or let me know if you would opt for the audio version. So, again, if you're just joining us, this is Ann Heaton, and thank you so much for coming to the 3 Keys to Unlocking Your Creativity and Expression. I'm having a little trouble with my camera, and apparently I've been told by my technical helper that the only way to fix it is to reboot my computer. So I'd love to know if you would prefer if I do that and resend you the link, or if this should just be a radio show. All right, I'm feeling like maybe this is going to be a radio show. So I'm sorry that you can't see me, but welcome. And we're going to do this as an audio program. So, okay, I got some feedback here. It says audio is fine. Okay, so we'll do that. So my name is Ann Heaton, and welcome to the 3 Keys to Unlocking Your Creativity and Expression, reconnecting with your inner artist when life is busy. I'm so glad you're here. I'm humbled, and I'm thrilled to share these 3 habits that I've used in my creative life that have made such a difference. And it's also, the new moon was also yesterday, which is a time for new beginnings, and it's a good time for taking action on things that you want to manifest in your life. And I didn't plan it around the new moon because I didn't know, but I found out. So that's kind of cool. So I'll just start telling you a little bit about myself. When I was 21 years old, I was incredibly depressed young person. I had a good life. I went to a great school. I had kind friends. I had nice parents. I had grown up in a household where the only kinds of communication that were really allowed were intellectual debate about politics or religion, humor, a joke here and there. Oh, it says, can you speak louder or adjust your mic? Okay, how's this? Is this a little bit better? Yeah, I can speak a little bit louder. Let me know if that's better. So the 3 kinds of communication that were allowed in my household growing up were intellectual debate, telling a joke, or the how-to of maybe how to mow the lawn or how to run the washing machine. So expressing emotions was not really allowed or tolerated. In fact, often it was ridiculed or ignored. So by the time I was in my early 20s, I had a lot of pent-up feelings and thoughts about feelings that I wanted to express. I had an inkling that I wanted to write songs or write something, but I wasn't sure how to get started, and I also wasn't sure who to share that with or who could help me. I was slightly overweight. I was depressed. I would wake up every morning and just feel this sort of dread and sadness that like I was in the wrong life. Like this is not what it was supposed to look like. So finally I was unhappy enough, depressed enough that I made a decision. I said, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna write songs. I'm gonna try, even though I have no idea how to do it. And that small decision ended up really being a big decision. So at the time, I enrolled in a few classes at City College, a few music classes. I was working at an accounting firm called Coopers & Lybrand in Manhattan, and I felt like signing up for those classes would sort of give me the artistic space I needed. I spent a lot of time just alone in a practice room, trying to figure out how to play piano and sing at the same time and writing my very first lyrics. And so finally I wrote my first song, and which felt great. I was terrified to share it. I decided to be brave and go to an open mic. I think it was at a club called Downtime in New York City. And now I had been playing piano since I was young, and I had sung in a rock band in college, so supposedly I knew how to sing. But when I got there to play my song, um, suddenly I couldn't sing. I actually just spoke the words to that song because now that I was expressing my own heart and my own feelings, um, it just was a whole new ball game, and it was very, very scary. So um, anyway, that decision and that step put me on a journey that not only, I don't like to use the word cured, but basically cured my depression, and not only that, brought so much joy and satisfaction into my life. Um, Really, I was able to feel like um, I liked who I was. I was able to connect with others, and sort of and felt like I was living the life that I was meant to live. Um, and as a side result of that, I got to do some really cool things, like put out 6 full-length albums. I've toured with Jewel, shared the stage with Sarah McLachlan, been featured on the New York Times Popcast and on NPR. Not to mention met so many of my songwriting heroes and heroines. So it's just an example of how a small decision can really open up a lot. And then years later, after my daughters were born, they're now 2 and 4. I kind of found myself experiencing this again. I mean, it's a totally normal thing. I was up all night with an infant, breastfeeding her, trying to keep her alive. So I wasn't thinking like, oh, I really need to make time to write in my journal. It's totally normal. But when she was about 6 months old, I really took a dip, and I noticed it one day when I was in the parking lot of a grocery store, and I was just crying. I was so miserable. And so again, I made a decision that I was going to connect with that part of myself and create my life the way that I wanted it to be by, reconnecting with myself and my creativity. And within a week of making that decision, some really cool things happened. I went to an inspirational event. I ended up going to Colorado, and I got a chance to write for about a week. And I don't know, you might be thinking, well, I can't go to Colorado right now. I got to go to work or whatever. But it really was sort of amazing how making that small decision, some amazing miracles happened and things lined up. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about me and why I get excited about this topic and where I've been before we dive in. No one else has said that they can't hear me, so I'm glad. For those of you who just joined, something happened to my camera, and so we're having a radio program now. So I'd love to just dive into the 3 keys, the 3 keys to unlocking your creativity expression when life is busy. And basically what I'm going to do today is share these 3 keys and then share with you an upcoming workshop I'm hosting that starts next Monday, and where you can take this work a little deeper. And then I'm going to recap the keys, and then maybe, if you want, play a couple songs. So hopefully that sounds good. So let me just take a drink of water here. Okay, so the first key to unlocking your creativity and expression is giving yourself permission. So giving yourself permission can take on a lot of forms, but it's undoubtedly the most important step because it opens the door. Giving yourself permission could look like committing to writing 10 minutes every day, or drawing, or doing whatever it is that helps you connect with yourself and your creativity. You could write or draw every morning for 10 minutes, or on your lunch break, or every evening before bed. And 10 minutes, is not long. It's over before you know it. And the important thing is to do it without judgment and without expectation of a particular outcome or a result. Giving yourself permission could look like taking a walk twice a week, wandering around with no set destination. Um, not a walk where you're like working out to lose weight or going over there to buy something, but just really just following your impulses and not knowing where you'll end up. So many of the things that we do in our lives and in our culture have a certain outcome. You go to the grocery store, you're pretty sure you're going to come back with groceries. You go to the DMV to change your license, chances are you'll come back with an updated license. And I think that all those things are obviously good. You want to come home with groceries, but I think we're a little bit addicted to certainty in our culture. And this first step, giving yourself permission, is basically giving yourself permission to be uncertain, to be creative, and to enter into that space. And one of the things that happens right up front, there's a voice in our head. I like to call it our ego. That has good intentions. It's trying to keep us safe, but it often comes up when we're making art of any kind. Why? Because making art puts us in touch with a vulnerable part of ourselves, and because we don't want to be criticized. So our ego will say all sorts of things like, you don't have time to do that, or like, who do you think you are, or you're not an artist, or why are you doing this? And what it's really saying is, don't take a risk, like stay safe, and what I find is that instead of ignoring this voice or sort of overruling it, I like to soothe it and thank it for thank you for trying to keep me safe. I appreciate it. And some of the things I say to that voice, if it tries to stop me from taking time to write or walk, is, I'm just doing this for 10 minutes. It's just for fun. Nobody will ever see this, or nobody will ever read this. So thank you for trying to protect me, but I'm okay. And so that's another little tip for the giving yourself permission. Also, another way giving yourself permission could look is maybe you don't feel like writing or drawing. Maybe you feel beat down by the winter and you aren't ready to write or draw. So another way of being creative, which I think is so important, is giving yourself what you want. Maybe you need to go get a massage, or maybe you want to take a hot shower. Maybe you want to drink a hot chocolate sitting on a rock in your favorite park. All of that is being creative and is nurturing yourself, and you are the creator. So, okay. Giving yourself permission. Now, let's move on to the second key of unlocking your creativity and expression is, number 2, having faith in what you'll find. You are a beautiful person. You have unique experiences that no one else has. And some of your most vulnerable places are your most beautiful, and others could benefit by your sharing them. So there's this societal myth that artists suffer more than normal people, and that your feelings will undo you if you allow them to surface and feel them. I challenge that. I believe that being an artist is a path of growing and self-actualization. And it's also a path of beauty, of making beauty. It's a way of making beauty out of heartbreak or painful experiences. And it's a way of leaving something of beauty on the path that other people will come across who may experience very similar heartbreak or painful experiences. One of my favorite Buddhist monks, not that I have a slew of Buddhist monks that I know, but Thich Nhat Hanh is amazing, and he often says, a lotus grows in the mud. And I love that. If you know the lotus flower, it's a large flower with, I'm using my hands now to demonstrate, but you can't see me, with beautiful petals that open. It's white, has a little pink and purple on it. And it's a beautiful flower, but you only ever see it in a pool of mud. And it needs that mud, and it's our experiences and our lives are that mud, and this beautiful thing can't exist without it. It's the fertilizer. So I just got so caught up in visualizing that flower, I forgot what I was saying. Another part of having faith in what you'll find is, as things come up for you, you have an idea, or you're writing, is treat what comes up with respect. Treat it as sacred. Put it in a box. Have a notebook that you keep with you, and you keep in a nice place. Because again, you are a beautiful person. You have unique experiences. And like I said, some of your vulnerable places are your most beautiful, and others will benefit more by you sharing those. And we all benefit by sharing our stories. I'm one of those people who loves hearing people's stories. Like, I know, I hear all the celebrity stories, but those aren't the ones, and those are fine, but those aren't the ones that get me. I'm like that person who is talking to, their cab driver, strangers, and sometimes even your friends have amazing stories, but they don't even think to tell them to you. And then one day it just sort of slips out, and you're like, what happened to you? Or what did you do? So anyway, okay. So if any of this is resonating with you and is speaking to you, I'd love to invite you to listen a little more about this upcoming songwriting workshop that I'm hosting starting next Monday. It's called the Creative Happy You Online Songwriting Workshop, where I'll share specific writing exercises to help unlock creativity and expression and connect with your inner artist on a deeper level. And also ways of connecting with what you most want to write about. But first, I want to share the third key. So hang on, I have to scroll to the third key. All right, here it is. And really, like, these 3 habits, if you even incorporate them just a little bit, these are like the nuts and bolts. If you incorporate them just a little bit, they'll have a profound impact on your life. They've had a profound impact on mine, and so I have this little note here. Maybe I'll come back to that story in a minute. Okay, so the third key to unlocking your creativity and expression and being more in touch with your inner artist, I like to call ask and tell. And this step has been part of my process for many years. I did it unconsciously. If someone had asked me, I wouldn't have known to mention it. But when I really thought about it, this has had the most miraculous results and never fails me. So this key requires me to come out of the spiritual closet a little bit. So it doesn't matter what your spiritual beliefs are, but the art, I believe that the art is not coming from that little ego voice that says, like, don't write, it's not safe, or like, who do you think you are, or like, why are you doing that, or you have too much work to do, or whatever. That's not where the art is coming from. Oh, someone's letting me know they can hear me. Okay, good. So no matter what you believe, maybe you believe your art comes from your higher self, or from the universe, or from God, or a higher power. Or maybe you even believe that the art sort of exists somewhere and you're just trying to catch it or find it. And any of those beliefs will work. So for the first part, that I call the ask, whenever I've been writing for 10 minutes a day for a week, and I've stumbled upon something that, I'm excited about and I want to write about, then I'll do this ask. I'll say to the universe, or God, or my higher self, or to the art itself, I'll say, what do you want to be? What do you want people to feel like when they experience you? What is your message? So I'll put that ask out there. And by doing that, I open myself up to the art, and and then at the same time, I do something I call a tell, which is usually I'll get a piece of paper and I'll write adjectives on the piece of paper, and then I'll scotch tape it to the wall. And the adjectives are basically anything that I envision for, usually in my case, it's a song, how I want it to sound, how I want people to feel when they hear it, the message I want to convey. So I'll put words on the piece of paper like maybe sounds like water, or the color green, or sad yet inspiring, uplifting, gorgeous. So I'll put maybe 5 to 10 words on a piece of paper and then paste it on the wall. Usually within 24 hours to a week, I'll have a finished song after I've done the ask and the tell. And what's amazing is I'll often forget that I even did the ask or the tell, and then later I'll come across the piece of paper and be like, oh, this song really does sound sad but uplifting, and it really does sound like water, and wow. And then yet on the other hand, it has this other aspect I never would have expected, and I never would have included, that seemingly came out of nowhere. So anyway, that's my favorite tip, and something that has really had such a profound results for me. And I wrote here in my notes, why do you make art? And I wrote, to be close to God, to be close to myself, my true self, which is really the same thing. This is the only thing that gives me any lasting happiness, which is funny, except, my husband, my children, my friends, my family, they give me lasting happiness too. And what else? I love beauty. I love seeing beauty. I love learning about other ways of seeing things. So here are the 3 keys. I'd like to say them again, so you kind of have them embedded in you, and I invite you to incorporate them into your life, whether you are a songwriter, whether you like to write in your journal, whether you don't write at all and you like to draw, whether you have not been doing anything creative in a long time but would like to step back into that, wherever you are on your journey. The 3 keys are: give yourself permission. Number 2, have faith in what you'll find. And then 3 is ask and tell. And these are the 3 simple keys that have made it possible for me to release 6 albums and tour and basically make my living as an artist, and most importantly feel connected and feel love and feel close to people, and like I have something to share. So I invite you to try them out. And some of them you may already know, and you say like, these are really obvious, but I don't know about you. I need to be reminded of obvious things because I forget, and also just having it fresh in my mind. So the upcoming workshop that I'm hosting that I want to tell you about is the Creative Happy You Songwriting Workshop. And it starts next Monday and goes for 6 weeks. And basically, we meet up each week and share what we're working on. I give writing exercises and creativity exercises to connect you with what you most want to say and express. And you're a part of a community. And this time, what's really cool is we have people all over the spectrum. We have 2 people who have never written any songs before. We have 2 people who have written many, one who just finished an album. We have a poet. We have someone else who's maybe written a song or 2. And so it's really cool. The one thing that everyone has in common is they have something in their heart that they want to share. And one cool thing about, I was just thinking about this earlier, one cool thing about songwriting and songs is that, you know how they say marijuana is the gateway drug? I feel like writing songs is like the gateway to all other forms of expression. And the reason I think that is because it's easy, like anyone can write a song in a few minutes. My daughter wrote a song in the kitchen the other day. I mean, she didn't know she was writing a song, but she just started singing something like, I feel a celebration going on. I feel a celebration. I'm like, Cecilia, you just wrote a song. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And also, the other thing I like about songs is, like, if you write a novel, well, first of all, if you decide to write a novel, that's a pretty big undertaking. And whereas writing a song, it's like, it's much shorter, and someone can experience it in just 3 minutes. They can experience your heart and your message in just a few minutes. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, so what else do I want to say? Yeah, so if that resonates with you and you want to be a part of our group, I'm going to put the link to more information about it and how to enroll in the sidebar, which I don't know if you have, but if there's a grid on the top of your Google Hangout event page, there should be like a little box that looks like a Rubik's Cube. And if you click on that, and then you click on the little yellow image that kind of looks like a gift card, then you'll be able to see, I'm going to put this in there. So yeah, let me know if you can see that. It should say Creative Happy You Songwriting Circle. And for anyone who's been on the call, which it really is a call now because there's no there's no image, to thank you for being here and being with me. It's actually not, it's easy for me to sing songs in a show, but this is very new to me. I've been feeling the nudge to share some of this deeper creative process, these keys with people, but I did have a little resistance to kind of putting myself out there. So to thank you for being here for this inaugural Google Hang, I'm going to gift anyone who decides to participate with my songwriting ebook, which is the 5 ways to write songs you love. And that's all. So thank you so much for being here. I'm trying to see if... Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. In closing, I'll just say another reason I started writing songs is to be honest. And I often felt like in conversation I couldn't quite express what I meant. I could get close, but not 100% there. Whereas through a song, I felt like I could really say what I meant, which was so freeing and exhilarating. So on that note, I think I'll play you guys a song or two. Oh, actually, one other thing I was going to do is I'm going to go over to the Q&A and just make sure that you guys don't have any questions before I play a few songs. So if you do have a question, please type it in. I'll be able to see it, and then I can answer it. So I'll check back after I play this first song. So this is a work in progress. And also thank you for being cool with the technology snafu. You with your royal blood and a rebel's heart, like Mandela, you played your part to look through the cracks, saw the people behind the wall. You could not stay once your name was called, and I won't let you go even if it's too late. I won't let you go even if it's too late. I won't let you go even if it's too late. Even though I know there's nothing so grand, still I made my way. 8 years ago, this Mother's Day, after laid out the gifts for I won't put up a fight as you take your place amongst the stars and illuminate our nights. If my I won't let you go, even if it's too late. I won't let you go, even if it's too late. I won't let you go. I won't let you go. Come back, come back, come back. I won't let you go. Little baby Grace, she came down from above. The whole world in her heart opened us to love. No, we didn't know we needed her, but she answered all our prayers. She could not stay away once her name was called. How can I let you go, even if it's too late? How can I let you go, even if it's too late? I won't let you go, even if it's too late. Even though I know I won't let you go, even if it's too late. I won't let you go, even if it's too late. I won't let you go, even if it's too late. Even though I know the best I've given you, and now you're going to fly to take your place amongst the stars and illuminate our you go, even if it's too late. I won't let you go. I won't let you go. I won't let you go. I remember why I do this, and I will not sing of sorrow, no. I look out at the wheat fields to a wheelbarrow underneath an ancient tree, looming and waving. And I remember bringing you a flower, and everything was perfect for the hour, and it always is. It always is. It always is. You have been fighting it with medicine. You have been fighting it by talking to a friend. You have been fighting it by not fighting it and surrendering. Make me a ruby, hold me up to the sun, melt me into one. Make me a ruby, hold me up to the sun, melt me into one. Redness, and I won't be depressed now that I'm the alchemist. I'm the With my lover's hands over me, I look to my eccentricities to deliver me. Like me, oh, behold me up to the sun, melt me into one. Like me, oh, behold me up to the sun, melt me into one. Redness, and I won't be depressed now that I'm the alchemist. I'm the alchemist. I'm the alchemist. I'm the alchemist. I'm riding in a wagon, laughing into the sunset. I'm laughing in a wagon, riding through the darkness. Now that I'm the alchemist, I'm the alchemist. I'm the alchemist. I'm the alchemist. I'm the alchemist. Thank you so much for joining me tonight for the 3 keys to unlocking your creativity and expression. I'm so excited you were here, and for next time, hopefully the camera will work. Thanks for being flexible and hanging in there, and I wish you the best in your creative endeavors. Please feel free to, this is new to me, feel free to give me any feedback. I don't have any questions here. Just thank you for sharing your creative process and beauty with us, Anne. Oh, thank you, Renata. That's so nice. So with that, I'm going to sign off. And again, thank you so much for being here. And peace and love and all good things to you. Okay? Bye-bye.